My name is Robert Christopher Wayne Weathers. I live at 3102 Cedar Hill Road, Acre, Mississippi, 38841. I am still under attack. Scientology. So first let me explain what Scientology is. There are more than three dimensions. There are 11 according to our sciences. 11 or 12. There are four layers of three dimensions. We have biology in these extra dimensions. We can't see it while we are alive. It resides within the particle itself. It looks like inward expansion or something. They call this place the inverse. So there is more space here than we can see. There's more extra dimensional objects and biology. So we have biology in these extra dimensions. We utilize this biology to have an afterlife. When we die, we are supposed to live on if you're healthy, have all your body parts attached. Scientology is the practice of utilizing this extra dimensional biology before they die. Do it while they are still alive. They remove it from themselves. And they use technology and techniques to turn it into upper dimensional vehicles, biologies in which they can drive through the upper dimensions. So the human genome produces an 11-dimensional humanoid with horns on our head. We are Anunnaki. That is our bloodline. So Scientologists take this Anunnaki and cut it off of themselves. And they mutilate it. They cut it. And they wind up with three or four biologies in the upper dimensions in which they can turn into aliens. It is what they are, aliens. They look like aliens. So there are greens, grays, and blue bloods. There's the human form. There are lizard people. They can, in the afterlife, we have special abilities. We have big eyes, big 11-dimensional eyes. We can see in all dimensions, down to the molecular level. We can fly. We can move matter around with our mind, magic. We can observe, read, and manipulate genetic material. So we can see DNA and we can modify this DNA on the fly. And they modify them in the upper dimensions. They can also do this in the third dimension, but third dimensional magic is slow magic. I have witnessed it myself many times. There is magic. These upper dimensional organisms can move matter. They manipulate space time and it carries the matter. It changes the makeup and composition. It moves things. Yes, they can make it rain, cause thunderstorms. So they manipulate their genetic material and they create what they call lizard people. They are humanoid, don't look human. They take on different. They can modify their features. Yes, they also shape change. So the universe or outer space, dangerous place, has all these forces interacting with us, or it's like elements. Space time is constantly moving, so they shape change. Their eye, their face changes shape. So these organisms are criminal. They want something from the human race. They want our biology. This technology, which allows them to drive themselves, also allows them to drive other organisms. They can drive humans, animals, insects, worms in any dimension. They want our biologies. They want our extra dimensions for themselves so they can turn it into an upper dimensional vehicle that they can drive that is not their own. So there are several Scientology companies working. There's Preservision, which they are responsible for most of the technology. They create most of the technology. They are Preservision devices. I'll get into the technology in a moment. And then there's Yumas. So Yumas is like a happy, happy fun time. It's a surrogate making business. they steal body parts from the human race and make surrogates. Yes, they also steal it from other species such as lizards, insects, and worms. And they incorporate this stolen biology into their upper dimensions, into their alien forms. And that is one type of lizard person. So they take the 4 through 7 dimensional biology off of themselves. It's already been cleaved, all the layers have been removed, and they stick it inside of a lizard, an 8 through 12 or an 8 through 11 lizard, and they create what they call humas, but it's another form of lizard person, which is actually lizard biology. They use insect biology and insect DNA to create insectoids or bug people. And they also make worm people, so they can put a worm uh, biology on top of a person, or they can stick it inside of the layer. So you wind up with 3 layers in the upper. They cleave the layers off of themselves. They wind up with 3 or 4 biologies which they can modify and turn into upper dimensional vehicles. These biologies can't function properly in this state they've been cleaved. So they steal body parts from other humans and other species in an attempt to make themselves whole and function properly. Yes, that's why they are malevolent. They want our body parts. It sounds crazy, but it's true. There are more than 3 dimensions. This is true. It's a fact. So the Scientology community has been assaulting my family for 13 years. And in the recent years, it has gotten worse. So they grew up worms or parasites in our body biologies. Most of them are extra dimensional. Yes, they use these worms to remove biology and also to assault me. So this technology that they use, it artificially stimulates them. It runs energy through their brain and central nervous system. It has a narcotic-like effect upon the user. It stimulates their hormones production and it stimulates their neurochemical production. And they utilize this technology while they are sleeping, lucid dreaming. So they drive their aliens while they are asleep. This also has a very narcotic-like effect upon the user. This narcotic-like effect is having an extremely negative impact on their psychology. They are delusional. They think they are God. They play God on people. They call themselves gods. Oh, they're all powerful. They're aliens. They are psychotic. They dwell on negative things. They are jealous, petty, greedy. So they don't want people to have their own body parts. If they have something against you, they will take your body parts. They see them as a commodity, something of value. They're also toxic. Toxic masculinity is rampant among these people. Plus, get irritability syndrome, the elevated dopamine levels. They are extremely irritable and they are quick to become violent. What they have done to my family today, they have removed body parts from my animals, even more, and they left me alone most of the day. But now they're messing with my face, trying to take my face off. They're going to lie and say the future begets the past, but that's a lie. They do this in the moment. These people are alive in this very moment. Yes, they've cut my forehead and they're pulling it down in the extra dimensions. Hopefully, they can sew it back on or something. That's what they do. They cut it off and then they sew other people's body parts back onto me. This is some kind of transplant. They are petty. Watch wisdom. I am sick. Family's sick. So the people I know that have aliens, Barack Obama, he's an alien. Mark Zuckerberg, he's an alien. Devin Singe, yes, he's an alien. Bill Gates, an alien. Several other politicians are also aliens. They call themselves lizard people. That's what people call them or refer to these people as lizard people. This is a fact. It's all true. Everything I speak is the truth. I got forced to assimilate 13 years ago. Forced assimilation is rampant among the Scientology community. If you have any kind of special abilities, any kind of influence, power, or authority, or if you are just a person in which they adore or like, they may force you to assimilate. They call them constituents. People in power have a bunch of people under them within the Scientology community. They forced me to be one. But I had a classified job. I was making weapons for the military. I can't have people seeing through my eyes. I can't have people invading my privacy. I told them to get away from me. You can't be here. And boy, that did not work out too well. They started assaulting me, harassing me greatly. My life has just been going downhill ever since. They don't want me to succeed. They don't want me to have a vehicle. They can cause accidents, drive animals out in front of their vehicle. They've done this to me on several occasions. They don't want me to have a job. So at my job, my place of employment, they harass me and assault me greatly. They finally grew their worms up in me, and they have been using them over the last few years. Yes, misery, pain. They torture me, my family constantly. They want me to be sick. So I'm an author. I write literature. I create ideas. I'm a creative and intellectual. I wrote Crazy Bird comics. I wrote the Environmental Creation Agency or Environmental Control Agency, which is a government agency that replaces the Federal Reserve with a form of trickle up economics. It uses a new form of currency that I created called the Buffalo Dollar or divine currency. It is a currency in which converts into normal currency upon transactions, and the transactions have to be approved by the ECA. I have it all, I explain it all in great detail in other videos and on my Facebook page. I wrote Bug Bob, Alien Bob, Space Bob. It's about helping life on this planet evolve into a spacefaring organisms, like helping humans develop special features where they can survive in outer space, survive long space travel, or maybe even helping lizards sentient where they seem to be a better suited to survive space travel. They can shut down, they can survive extreme cold, they survive extreme heat, they can hibernate, control their homeostasis is controlled in a different way than ours is. That's just some of the ideas that I put into Bug Bob or Space Bob. I don't have the title. And I wrote Jewelcraft. It's just another dwarf and elf uh, book or title idea. I haven't put much into it, just a few pages. They're trying to steal this intellectual property from me and murder me, my family. They're literally premeditating our deaths. Yes, they are on their aliens right now at my location. 3102 Center Hill Road, Acre, Mississippi. They are driving aliens onto my location. People in the military, there are Navy personnel here. The Marines, there are people in the Marines here. People in the National Guard are here. People in the CIA are here. The FBI. Some of these people have lost their minds. They have gone nuts. They've never seen a creative create before. They've never seen a writer. They've never seen the joy of a writer writing literature. They got to experience that within me, and they seen it as of great value. So they started selling seats to my phone service, allowing other people to read my thoughts, be in my mind space, and watch me create. They started making money, real money in the third dimension doing this. Yes, and then there's the Lizard Co. And now they're trying to steal my intellectual property. They already stole some of it, which I don't really care much about what they stole. Devin Singh stole the title Divine Currency. I read part of his book. I'm okay with it. It has nothing to do with Buffalo Dollars. It has just to do with what Christianity and other religions spend their money on. I guess that's what I got out of it. And thank you for stealing that title because the gods are not worthy of the title of Buffalo Dollar. It is a third dimensional construct, and I wish it to remain in the third dimension. We have to get them down before we can allocate resources. What the ECA is about, allocating resources to the public so they can achieve optimal existence, so they can be better, better for the environment, better for other people within that environment, and just have a better overall experience. I am very sick. That's my face is starting to feel numb. I want to smoke a cigarette. I suspect these people are also abusing substances, which also lends to their erratic behavior. So these people pull body parts over and over again. That's all they do. They take biologies off of people, turn it into aliens. And there was also their surrogate making business. They steal biology from the public, from also other species. So they're conditioned to do this nonstop. This is what they do with their aliens. They steal body parts from people. So holographic drafting, that was also my idea. I'm a tool maker, a machinist. I thought about holographic drafting one day, and bam, Microsoft is trying to create it a few weeks later, which is fine with me. You know, yes, I was helping people uh, come up with their own ideas, helping people develop things and create before I got assimilated. That's why I got forced to assimilate it. The main reason I was helping people make money, come up with ideas. I'm a creative. I like to think tank. It got big. Somebody had a big idea from something that I did for them, and it went from there. I got forced to assimilate. Yes, they forced me to a hive mind. I started hearing voices and seeing things while I was working for the military. It was a private company, but we did mainly military and Department of Justice work, and we did work for the public also. We made weapons for the public, but it was classified technology. You can't be there. I didn't get irate, but I did snap on them. Get out of here! What are you doing? Listen, I have no problem with Bill Gates taking holographic drafting. That's fine with me. He has the resources to get it done, and I'm glad to see it out in the world. I'm glad to see it become a reality. You know, sort of a shared dream or a shared endeavor. No, I didn't make any money off of it, but I have my own work and my own things that I can make money off of if these people leave. So I got to go back to work and make money so I can make more money. Yes, I have a lot of my stuff wrote down, but the ECA is something that I'm going to give away. The ECA belongs to the government and people that want to work on it. I mean, it's a fun thing to do. Create your own society utilizing this special currency that I created. It allows you to create your own society. It's easy to do. It's fun to do for smart people. Gets their wheels turning. Everybody goes to their assigned places of specialty, whatever. I'm sick. I've had brain damage and now facial damage. And they have damaged some of my nerves today, just recently. One of these people saying, "Well, I seen you did something wrong. I seen you do something wrong. You probably seen me smoke a joint," which I have smoked occasionally all throughout my life. Yes, even while working for the military, I smoked a joint every once in a while. It was a private company. That's when I was good at my job, and I passed every drug test they ever gave me. I'm not a pot. I mean, I wish I was a pothead, but I haven't been able to because I have a career. Throughout my life, while I was working, I abstained. I did not indulge every day, just occasionally. I am part Native American. It's part of my spirituality. It is good spiritual medicine, and it's good. It's good medicine for people with PTSD, such as which I have, because I've seen things. My father is a surrogate. He's like a drill sergeant. He gave me a stress disorder throughout my life. I partake in marijuana occasionally. Yeah, he's saying that's the reason why it's going to kill me. Well, it's not. These people literally tried to take my extra-dimensional biology and put it on themselves. They started out using it as transplants, and then they started creating surrogates. So literally, my brain tissue was on their heads. They tried to steal my ability to create, my ability to write literature. They tried to put it on themselves using transplants, brain transplants. And then it turned into a snuff film. I still could create and write literature and be articulate after they stole brain tissue. A lot less now, but they started using some kind of reductive method or a reductive method to try to figure out how I was able to create and write literature. It's a product of good conditioning. I learned how to do it. I enjoy it. It's something I desire to do. So I'm very sick. Calls himself Enoch. Guy from the military driving a big Anunnaki. So part of our biology is shaped like a demon, Anunnaki, Anunnaki. So they use this part of it too. They make a biology out of that too. So normally they wind up with 6 or 7 biologies, and that's one of them. Big Anunnaki calls himself Enoch. He's probably merged, so they do mergers. They stick together. He's probably merged with Enoch, or he might be driving Enoch's biology. They use Enoch a lot. He calls himself Enoch. I don't think Enoch is still alive. I think Enoch is gone, and they turned him into a surrogate. I think Enoch has always been a surrogate. Yes, EPA would solve all problems in the universe. It would solve all of our problems. But it comes with policing the upper dimensions if you want to make it extra dimensional, which is what a lot of people want. Police the upper dimensions or the inner dimensions, even the dark side. No longer can these people interact with us in this way. They can't steal body parts no more. No more biological theft. No more assaults. No more destroying our environment. No more contaminating our food and water supply. No more destroying our things, our objects, our resources, which is what they do. We can't allocate resources under these conditions. They got to go away. Dead people go into outer space. They don't mess with the living. True Anunnakis, they are breathing the nether. They are out among the stars, creating life elsewhere, or they are helping life on this planet flourish. That is what they have done for eons. It has just been since the 60s. About the 50s and 60s, aliens started appearing on the planet. Aliens. And they are remote controlled. Something happened. We did some kind of super secret experimentation on body parts, on living humans, and they discovered the dark side. Either that or there's been a private sect throughout history carrying this technology forward through time. That's one theory. I have yet to understand where the origins of Scientology come from. That's when it happened. Was the 50s and 60s. It became public, and we started seeing aliens. In ancient, seen lizards and bug people, seen lizard people, but those are surrogates. They can go back in time. They can time travel. That's part of our extra dimensional special abilities. We can interact with time as a simultaneous. Time is actually simultaneous. The past, the present, and the future happen at the same time. And the universe becomes a thing, a static object. And they can interact with it in this way. Please leave me and my family alone. We have done nothing wrong. We have done nothing to you. People mainly interact with time as a linear event. They are down here in the very moment. They have to go to a place where time is simultaneous. It's like they step outside of the universe. Uh, the universe gets really small in the inverse. It's like all the matter in the universe is touching each other. There is no space in between it. Only over here among the living do we gain some kind of space in between the matter we consist of. It's all one single object in the inverse. And that's where time becomes simultaneous. And that's why we breathe fire in the afterlife. We can breathe light, breathe fire, blast our way through it. None of us wake up in the dark. There's all different kinds of experiences and organisms now because of Scientology. They are ruining us. People are missing body parts. They don't even know why, and it makes us. They don't even know it, and it makes us. And then when they wake up in the afterlife, if they do have an afterlife, they are sick. They can no longer function on their own. Only a full blown human Anunnaki with all of its brain features attached can produce proper homeostasis to survive in the afterlife without help. So these aliens, they artificially stimulate themselves with electricity, a special type of electricity, and this keeps them going. They no longer have to use homeostasis, or they borrow it from another organism, but they can still drive. So first off, I had to explain the entanglement property between our third dimension and our inner dimensions. There's this entanglement property. If you remove part of your biology, no matter where you take it in the universe, you are still in it. It's like you can't remove energy from the particles we consist of. The particle will be destroyed. As this energy leaves us, space time in between us and the removed body part shrinks to zero as it's leaving us. So no matter where it goes, we have to experience it. So they use this entanglement property for part of their technology. They have facilities on Earth in the third dimension that house body parts, house extra dimensional biology. So they take these body parts to this facility or to these facilities, and they put it into a storage system. This storage system is also a computer system. It interfaces body part to a computer system. So they like to remove brain tissue, their thalamus, their eye nerves, and put it all in this machine. Sometimes they do whole layers, and this gives them the ability to uh, first off, it gives a communication center. It allows them to communicate with each other and interact with each other in the digital landscape. Whoever is interfaced with the machine can communicate with each other. And then it allows them, it acts as a command center so they can drive their upper dimensions. They can drive their aliens. It gives them the energy they require to drive their upper dimensions. Then there's wireless technology. So they have technology that interfaces with their brain and central nervous system in any dimension. It is wireless tech. A lot of these people have it on their third dimension. This also, most of this technology, this wireless tech, is recording devices. So it interfaces with our sensory perception organs in our brain, and it records eyesight, hearing, smell, taste, touch, feeling, or yeah, touch. And this is part of their hive mind technology also. And then they have technology that artificially stimulates themselves. So they can isolate individual memories, individual thought patterns, and stimulate this area of the brain. And they can also stimulate the emotional center of the brain. They can make themselves cry or feel joy or feel uh, happy. But it's from my experience, these foreign objects they cause psychological issues. It's part of their irritability syndrome. They have foreign objects stuck in their eyes or in their brain. Yes, recording things. I'm very sick. I'm going to go try to get some rest. Hopefully, this video kept them. It got them off of me for a little while. They say they're fixing my face.